What's going on? It's Cam Kirk, and I just jumped off the porch with DGB.
Said I'm so motherfucking high right now. I got so much.
We got Cam Kirk off the porch with us today, man. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Excited.
appreciate you being here, man. It's an honor to have you here, man. I saw on IG last week you attended 21 Savage's birthday party.
Yeah.
How was that event? That looked pretty crazy.
Nah, yeah, that was fun, man. I like when artists are cool enough to actually have fun.
Huh.
And I'm excited that 21 still has that down-to-earth persona about him.
Yeah.
But that was fun. It brought everybody to Cascades, out there skating,
Yeah.
drinking. You know what I mean? That was fun. So I'm actually endorsed by Avion just like him. So
Yeah.
it was cool to actually be a part of it and work with the brand together on bringing that experience for Atlanta. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It looked like everyone there had a pretty good time, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no drama, no fights, no beefs, anything like that. It's always a good thing to hear.
Yeah,
in this
lovely
city.
thing.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into some of your history here, Kirk. You're one of the most influential creatives in the city. How would you describe your journey these past 8 years?
It's been uphill battle, but it's been exciting. You know, a lot of stops along the way.
Yeah.
That have been, life-changing experiences. The fun thing I think about my journey is that it actually lays out a new blueprint. Because being a photographer, prior to when I started, so prior to like 2012, you didn't have those same mediums and avenues that I had, like in terms of like Instagram or, being able to put your work directly on a social platform. Like you kind of had to lead people to your website or tweet about experiences. So understanding how to navigate as a photographer in that world where in order to even be popular, you have to almost give your work away for free. That's another thing that's a little interesting, where a lot of like veteran photographers like cringe at the idea of that.
Yeah.
So just understanding that. So my journey as a creator, as a photographer in Atlanta, surrounded by the trap scene, surrounded by very private artists that don't usually like cameras or people in their face. How do you turn that into, a career, an empire, as I'm working on now, and to be able to travel the world based off of photographs and work with billion-dollar brands is interesting. So it's uphill battle because as a photographer, I feel like in the photographer and like the trap hip hop scene, I don't necessarily feel like we always got our respect or our credit. So, kind of sticking out your elbows and wrestling your way to get these artists to respect, what we bring to the table. Has made it a little bit challenging, but fun at the same time. When every time you can kind of, break down that guard that an artist might have up or somebody has up, it's fun. So I enjoy it.
Yeah. It seems like it's definitely been rewarding for you these past few years for you too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And at first you wanted to be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And then you changed majors after one semester of biology to business marketing.
Yeah.
So why'd you choose business marketing?
To be honest, I could have wrote anything on the paper at that time. I was so frustrated with biology and the idea of being a doctor. I was probably like a lot of kids. I don't know, maybe I wasn't, but I just wanted to pick a job originally that made my parents smile. So when they said they were sending their kids to college to be a doctor, it was always like I'm so proud, so happy. And I had never done any research into what it takes to be a doctor.
Oh, really?
So I didn't even know about the whole process of medical school, the exams you have to take, the residency programs. So when I got to Morehouse first semester and I'm sitting with the bio team and we're all studying for this big exam, and they're just so passionate about it. And they're just like, yeah, when I turn 30, I'll finally be a doctor and I'm gonna get money then. And I was like, bro, what you talking about 30? Like, I gotta wait till I'm 30 to make money? And I was like, oh yeah, biology was already too tough. I went there. So part of marketing that drew me to marketing though was the creative side of it. So I did think about that, like, shoot, if I worked in marketing, I could work for Nike or Adidas. Like I started thinking about these other jobs that are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or I could work for a sports team or something. So I kind of thought like every company needs marketing and needs that. So the initial push or initial thing that made me sign up was just something that simple. And then later I learned that it set the blueprint for what Cam Kirk is today. I'm a marketer before I'm a photographer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's what kind of sets you above like the rest of the photographers, especially in the city here.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely seem like you had the vision for it and you executed it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Photography is just a way that I express my passion for marketing. So photography is the way I create the marketing tools that I plan to market. So that's kind of how I approach the game.
Yeah. And so after you switched majors, you ended up taking out a student loan to book Wiz Khalifa in Atlanta?
Yeah. That story sounds so crazy now when you see how big Wiz Khalifa is, like the biggest artist in the world. And you're like, how did your student loan cover that? You know, like, what was that about? How you just randomly do that? But at that time, he was coming up off of the Deal or No Deal album, and you know, Atlanta was at that time I felt was a little slow to him, simply because like the blog, like he was killing the blogs, but the blog scene wasn't really that relevant here. We were kind of doing more, you know, the DVDs or I don't know what people were really doing, radios and stuff like that. So he was pretty under the radar at the time when I booked him. So when I reached out to his camp, you know, because he had you know, Twitter was the first time you could ever really communicate with your favorite artists. So I was a big Wiz fan. I was following on Twitter, and I just noticed he had an email in his bio, and I'm like, email? Like I can email somebody? And I just emailed it, and I was actually just trying to bring him to Morehouse. I was like, man, you should do a meet and greet on Morehouse. Like, that'd be cool. Like, you know, I was literally, that's all I was. I was literally a college kid, just like shooting my shot, so to say, like, yeah, just come to Morehouse. Like, let me be the one to bring you to Morehouse. I had nothing really going on. I wasn't doing anything in music, entertainment. I wasn't a party promoter. I wasn't really anything. And when they hit me back, they were just like, yo, we're on a 50-city tour.
Oh, shit.
We got 49 cities booked, and Atlanta was the only city that no one has reached out to us. What do you want to do? The tour costs $4,500. What do you want? What exactly are you hitting me up for? Basically, it was almost like that. Like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Because my email had nothing about booking for a show, a tour. So at that point, I just was like, whoa, like this is an opportunity here. And I was like, man, how hard could it be? Like, it's Wiz Khalifa. I know a lot of kids on campus are listening to him. I could take out a student loan. I only got to give them half the money today. So you know, $2,250. I'm like, I'll take out a loan for $4,500. Stafford loan, it gets me that. I partnered with my roommate at the time, so he put some of his money in. We went half on it, and then it was just like, shit, I booked him for nothing, and it sold out on its own. Like I didn't even have to be a great promoter, because it was like from the promotion time, he started teasing Cushion orange juice.
Oh, okay.
So it was like that just got everybody so excited. And then he ended up actually dropping Cushion orange juice like a couple days after the show. So it was like everybody kept thinking they were gonna come and he was gonna drop it when he got to Atlanta. So it was a lot of like stuff that just made that event sell out. So it sold out quick. It was crazy.
So you're able to turn a profit on that?
I to this day I can't tell you what I did with the money or if I did it right. I didn't know what I was doing. So you know, my ticket price was probably way too low. I didn't save any tickets for the door to charge people double their money. Like I sold everything online. The venue took half. They cut. Like, you know, when it's all said and done, I remember sitting down with my roommate just like, where did the money go? Like what happened? Like then you started adding up all these other expenses. So if I knew what I knew now, I would have killed them. I would have made a ton of money. But I probably made my money back and definitely got the clout from it or whatever from it though.
Yeah. And after that show, you went to go take a picture with Wiz Khalifa, but didn't have a camera or no one around you had a camera. And that's
tragic.
and that led you to purchasing your first camera?
Yeah, like I remember that day, like it was yesterday. I had a class presentation. So at Morehouse, they're big on like wearing suits and stuff to class. So I had full suit on. Not my intent at all. Wiz comes in town a couple hours earlier than he was supposed to, because then they were driving. And Will was like blowing me up, like, where you at? where you at? Like, where's our room keys? Where's our hotel? Like, he's
Yeah.
like, it's got to be that as a road manager. So I'm stressing. I'm like, man, like, I thought you guys were coming a little later. I can meet you at the hotel. I had to leave class. I'm in a full suit. I go meet him at the hotel. I get them checked in. I'm thinking the storm is over. And Will is like, all right, now take me to the venue. I want to see the venue and sound check. So I'm like, what? Like, I thought I was going to have time to go change or something. Take him straight to the venue. Then the venue people are bugging me. They're pressing me about this and that. I had people trying to sneak into the concert early. People were trying to just hang around, sound check. I had to get them food. Long story short, I ended up never being able to go home. I'm wearing a suit the entire night.
Really?
I'm pissed. Like, I just look frustrated. And at the end of this whole thing, all I wanted was a photo with Wiz.
Yeah.
Like, it was all right. I get the photo. I finally got to talk to him backstage. Like, even the whole concert is like, you don't even talk to him. When I finally got to talk to him, he's so cool. I'm like, man, I need a photo. My phone is completely dead. This is probably like the iPhone. I don't even know what iPhone was out this time, so the picture quality was trash anyway. And there was like one photo that somebody took on the iPhone, but it's like blurred out. You can barely notice me in it, and that was it. And then I remember that day I told my dad, like, my dad's a photographer. I was like,
oh, really? Okay.
Tell me what camera I need to go get because now that I'm about to be the biggest concert promoter in the world, I need a camera to shoot and tell people I did this because no one knows I threw this concert.
Yeah.
And that was literally where it started.
Yeah.
And I ended up throwing one more show with Dom Kennedy and it didn't go nearly as good as the Wiz one. And I quit that profession.
Yeah.
And, led me to the camera though.
Yeah, and you bought a Canon T2i, right?
Yeah.
At the time, how much was that camera?
$400 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe $400 or $500. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I literally took whatever money I had from the Wiz show and just bought the camera.
Yeah. So how'd you learn how to shoot and edit? You self-taught, or you mentioned your dad was a photographer?
Yeah, my dad's a photographer. My dad doesn't live here though, so my dad and my family lives in Maryland. So
okay.
I didn't necessarily get too much hands-on training from him. So a lot of it was self-taught. This guy out here, this legend in Atlanta called Chilio.
Okay.
He actually was the one that would teach me here and there hands-on stuff. Like, all right, set your camera should always be set to this.
Yeah.
You should do this, you should do that. And did that and just kind of working with local artists. I just kind of made mistakes, found a style I like, found things I liked, and then really got into it. I started doing videos first. Not even really photography, but the video game was what I was really into at first.
Yeah. Was there any photographers that kind of influenced you?
Yeah, like the guys that actually got me to cross over from the video game to photography.
Yeah.
Just by seeing their career and the longevity of their career was definitely Zach Wolf in Atlanta.
Okay.
D. Wong Valdez in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Out of Motion Family and Jonathan Mannion.
Okay.
And those were the three I just literally studied every thing they did. They had a picture, a behind the scenes picture. I would screenshot it, zoom in, try to see what camera they're using, what lens, what stance. I would even take some of that stances, like, all right, he's kind of crouching down. I should shoot like that. And I just kind of literally studied. And there was specific things I loved about each person. I loved D. Wong and how Motion Family were like documenters of culture. I love how Zach Wolf, made Atlanta artists seem larger than life and his style with the photo shoots. And then I love Jonathan Mannion because he was just like the legend to me. Like, he just like the name, like you could just say Mannion and it was like strong. And then it was like, he shot every Jay-Z album cover.
Yeah.
Like Nas. It was ridiculous, like just reading his story. But for him, it was like seeing how 20 years into the game, he's still relevant. And his work, I grew up on his work, not even noticing it or knowing. And his story was really like impactful to me. So
yeah, I got you. And then so who was one of the first artists that like really gave you a shot to like shoot them, whether it was at a concert or just intimate setting?
I have to always give credit. My start really started with before it was an artist, it was a figure in music. So Ebony that manages Gunna now
Okay.
and works with Future. She was actually one of the first people in the music industry that were actually plugged in, that actually took a chance on me. So she had a store called Fly Kicks that was actually owned with Fly from TIG. And she would let me shoot stuff for the store and the brand. And she really kind of gave me my first, I would say major opportunity.
Okay.
And then that led, from me doing that, she recommended me to shoot Future. And prior to that, I had shot a couple artists here and there.
Yeah.
But nothing like on a stable. Like she was setting me up to actually be someone's photographer or videographer. And I auditioned to be Future's videographer, and I was going up against my boy Pat. And Ed was vouching for me. Chubby, I think, was vouching for Pat. And it ended up working out because we stayed in the same family, but Pat ended up getting Future, and they put me with Young Scooter.
Okay.
So Young Scooter was the artist that took me, he blew me up, so to say. Our time together, the work we did, I worked with Scooter for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
Was with him the day he got arrested, terrible day. And worked with him when he got out. So he really took me around the US, travel the world. I really kind of got to learn the game, and I really got to earn certain stripes.
Yeah.
That's Scooter, for sure.
Yeah. And you also worked pretty closely with Gucci for a while too.
Yeah, so Scooter introduced me to Gucci.
Okay.
The Scooter was working with Gucci at the time. So it was through Scooter that I even got the opportunity to meet Gucci and so many other people, to be honest. But it was through that. So the times that I was shooting Gucci back then, I wasn't necessarily on assignment for Gucci. I was actually on assignment for Scooter.
Okay.
And they just happened to be in the same room together. So it was those moments that really kind of set me up, because at that time, Gucci always had an iconic figure about him.
Oh yeah.
But definitely him going to prison, added more fuel to the icon of Gucci Man.
Yeah.
And I happened to be the photographer that was around him leading up to those days. So I had the latest photos of him.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of took things to the top.
Yeah. Was it easy working with Gucci?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Gucci is the GOAT. He always has been, always will be. He's real. I don't know. It's just weird. But also the people that come out of him or around his circle are usually real. It's it's authentic. It's nothing fake. So my time with him was special, and memorable. Even being able to actually work with him when he got out of jail.
Okay.
Because before I really wasn't working with him. I was just kind of the guy around with the camera. But being able to work closely with him and build a deeper relationship when he got out of jail, same person to me. So there's the whole idea of the clone of this.
Yeah.
It's bro, that was Gucci. If you really knew him, I always saw him smiling. I always saw him having fun, making jokes or being cool. He was always respectful to me, always held me down, whatever. Never really had no vibe like that. So
yeah,
it was the same when he got out. So when he got out, I was yeah, that's the guy I know. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so it didn't shock you to see him do a complete 180 in his lifestyle, huh?
Nah, I mean, he's disciplined. That man is a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So he's a go-getter. He knows what he wants, and he's always been like that. You know what I mean? Regardless of the dark cloud, he's always, had a vision for things. You know what I mean? That's how he was able to have his hands on so much. Even my career, I have to give certain credit to him, and so many other of my peers. We all kind of came out of that umbrella. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's dope.
Yeah. Another artist out of that umbrella is Metro Boomin, who you worked really closely with. How'd you link up with him initially?
So when Scooter went through his situation, I was a free agent all over again. It was weird. So I was man, I've been on the road for the last 1.5 years. I didn't have clientele in Atlanta. I was what am I gonna do now? My check just stopped, drastically. So I was going back to Morehouse, where I graduated from, on campus, just linking with some friends. And Metro happened to be in one of the dorm rooms I was at, because he went there.
Yeah.
And then my friend, his name is Brian, was like, yo, y'all should know each other. You know what I mean? Metro just signed to free bands, so both of y'all are free bands pretty much. So like, y'all should know each other. And I was like, oh, word. Like, and then he played me some of his tag and his music, and I was like, oh, I think I was with Future one day, and he was recording to this or something, and then we just kind of hit it off from the jump. It was like, Metro's another genius. Like, he had this vision for himself from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, the first thing he said to me was like, bro, I want my face out there. I want people to know who I am. So that was like one of our first projects, was like, yo, film me, you know, record me, you know, take pictures of me, do this. I want people to know the face. And so we just kind of connected and really ran through the industry together.
Yeah. And what's it been like watching him execute that vision and that plan that he had to being on top of the game like he is now?
It's inspiring. I think it motivates me every day. I mean, really working with both of them, working with Scooter and seeing Scooter be your trap artist. Like, I watched him run around the streets of Atlanta to then. I mean, it was at one point, man, that man was superstar. Like, no one could tell me different. He still is a superstar.
Yeah.
But I saw him walk in some rooms with people that you wouldn't even believe he was in a room with, and that were like on Scooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, man did a song with Wyclef Jean. Like, I don't know where it's at. I hope he finds it on the drive somewhere. But like, I've seen this happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so his story was super inspiring. So then, because I was with him from the day like Columbia was first doing his thing locally.
Yeah.
To going up the moon with it. So then when I got back with Metro, it was kind of like that process over again, but this time with a producer. And that was the most inspiring, because I learned the game from an artist who's always in front of the scene and, you know, kind of gets things his way. Then I learned the game from working directly with Metro on taking a producer who's traditionally behind the scenes and putting him at the forefront, and how if your work is tight, your vision is lit, and if people know who you are, you can be famous, just as famous as the artist. And I learned that. So I actually adopted the artist blueprint, the production blueprint, and poured it into the photographer blueprint. And I was like, man, same thing. My work is my work. The photo of Gucci is my work. So why am I not standing in front of cameras talking about my work? Like, he would do that if it was his song. Why am I not on a radio interview talking about how I shot this person, that person, or this and this? It's my work. Like, you know what I'm saying? The same thing you guys buy posters of or buy merch shirts of, or this is my work. So why can't I get the credit for it and get the recognition? And it was just something I learned, you know, being next to Scooter and being next to Metro. Like, it can apply to multiple different fields.
Yeah. Oh, that's real right there. And you were around Metro when him and Young Thug were working on that Metro Thuggin project.
Yeah, infamous.
Yeah. What was your creative process like working on that project?
I was just trying to play my part, man. It was it was like history every night watching them work together. So I was just trying to be of service to their vision and their dream. And it was a lot of long late night sessions and stuff, but you know, hopefully, you know, the world will really hear it. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, they've been kind of talking about it again recently, so one can only hope.
You never know. You never know.
All right, and in 2017, you opened up Cam Kirk Studios here in Atlanta. What was your vision when you first opened it?
My vision for the studio was simply creating a spot that I never had, and, you know, offering up a resource for anybody that's been aspiring to be in my footsteps or to follow what my career did. When I was coming up, I didn't have a safe haven or a hub, a community of other like-minded creatives that are there to just support and help and teach you this and teach you that. So when I knew once I got to a certain level of success in my personal career, that it was always my responsibility and my job to pass on those blessings. Specifically because I feel like I'm a part of a group of photographers that pioneered the way for a new age photographer. It's important that I don't just keep those secrets to myself, but it's like, all right, you teach the game and we give the game back. So the studio was always about that vision. It's built around the concept of community. Like, you know, not one person's above the other. There's no VIP at my studio. It's all of us, you know. It's a beautiful thing when you can be there 1 hour and you see, a first-time photographer literally pulling their camera out of the case and practicing and trying. You know what I mean? And then the next hour is Lil Baby and Gunna shooting an album cover over here. It's like a mind-blowing experience that we have at the studio, where it's like people from all areas and all career levels use that space. So that's the most beautiful thing. And that was the vision from the beginning, was like that. And then on the personal side, I felt like my career was getting to a point where I needed a place that I could shoot these artists at.
Yeah.
Like as I'm expanding my craft and working with bigger artists, they don't want to just be told to meet up at this random location. Like,
Yeah.
they want something that they can be comfortable in.
Yeah.
And that was the vibe for me. But little did I know the studio would be so much bigger than me. I don't even get the studio time myself. I'm fighting with the community.
Yeah, you average about 400 bookings a month, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
That is insane.
All day, nonstop.
How long did it take you? How long did it take for you to turn a profit at the studio? Was it right away?
Oh yeah, we turned profit probably first month.
Oh, nice, nice.
And that just came from, honestly though, I have to credit a lot of it to my team, my staff, sacrificing. They did a lot of sacrifices financially. I give them credit, at the beginning to allow, the studio to make enough money to eventually be able to pay the employees we have. Like now we have 7 or 8 employees. So it took, a couple months of nobody taking profit. You know what I mean? And no one touching the money or adding that overhead to the books to allow us to do that. So it worked pretty easily. Like when we found the substance to it and we figured out what it is we were going to do, we were able to make that thing work.
Yeah, yeah. And all right, so in the summer you announced that you had launched a record style company for photographers called the Collective Gallery. Can you tell us exactly what the Collective Gallery is?
So there's a very long answer to what Collective Gallery is, and then so I've been explaining it so much, so I'm trying to give people the 30-second. Everybody's like, you need your 30-second pitch. The quick 30-second pitch of what Collective Gallery is, so it's easy to understand.
Yeah.
Take Def Jam, everything that Def Jam does and stands for, how they sign artists and represent artists, and you substitute Big Sean for Cam Kirk. Simplest way to put it. The same label, the same way that label supports Big Sean and his career and funds him to put out these albums, puts a team around him, puts promotional plans behind him, creates his merch for him, distributes his work, does PR for him, helps him stay creative, connects him with other artists that he needs to work on this album together, artist development, puts him on tour, schedule his travel. Take all of that, take Big Sean out and put Cam Kirk or your favorite photographer there. Instead of albums, we work on creative projects. It could be an album if that's something that one of our artists wanted to put out. If he wanted to try his luck with, reimagining what an album can be like, that could be a process. If they wanted to shoot a creative campaign, documenting what it's like to live in these cities or something. I don't know, you want to make a book out of it. Well, that we would call that his creative project, which we would equate to like his album. Like, so we would give him the resources, the funding to be able to pull that off. So what kind of separates us, because a lot of people think, well, isn't that a creative agency? The difference is a creative agency is there to position you to get more work. And that's pretty much the root of what they do. They're the middleman to you and more checks to keep your job going. They don't necessarily invest in that crazy idea that's in your mind that you're like, this ain't got nothing to do with Gucci, Future, nothing. I just want to shoot this over here. And I would think it'd be a cool project. But we're here to say like, all right, bet. Let's figure out how we can get you to do that. What ways we can monetize it. Is it something that we can sell merch around? Is it an exhibit that we can take on the road and charge people to see it? Whatever it is, do we need to connect you with this person? Do you need this artist to be a part of it? Do we need to pay that artist? Like whatever the case may be, so that we can change the game for photographers to where we're not 24/7 in service. Because photography is a service for the most part. So when you're always working for a check, you're in service to your client at all times. It requires your own money to step out of that matrix and work for yourself.
Yeah.
So we're here to fund this other side of photographers' brains where they just have a cool idea that they want to shoot. Maybe they don't have the artist to shoot it with. We can help them do that.
How long have you had this idea?
The idea, honestly, the idea of me creating a photography-centered company was years ago.
Okay.
And that was always going to be called Collector Gallery.
Yeah, because I've seen you use that name before.
Yeah, so that the idea of that, of creating this community or fosterhood of like other photographers was always that. But the idea of making it a label came more so working out of my studio and seeing so many different photographers work on different projects, how creative. Like I got to actually put a face to the community that I was like inspiring, you know what I'm saying? So it was like through it, I would see how some kind of understood what I've been doing, but maybe missed the element. Like, oh yeah, you thought I was just doing this, or no, that was because I was doing this. Like, there was still like pieces to the puzzle I felt like they were just missing. Like, you know, when you saw me shooting Gucci, you thought I was getting paid millions of dollars. Like, nah, I was doing that to market myself to be able to do this. But I would see the mess-ups when they would come and ask me advice. Like, man, I'm working with this artist, he don't want to pay. And I'd be like, yeah, that's how it goes. Like, you work with artists, like, do that. And then you get paid other ways. But I was able to kind of just see the needs of the community and where they were lacking and resources and this. And then I was able to just be like, yo, I got y'all back. Like, I'm going to use my platform to knock down his door. Because to me, it's like, it's very simple. It's all talent management and talent monetization. Like, if you're talented and if you're influential, you should be able to make money off of those two things. Yeah. The same way an artist does. So the idea is like, and the problem that we find, or what I found even through my career and the cool ideas that I want to do, they're all self-funded. My studio is 100% self-funded. When I was putting artists on billboards, that was self-funded. So a lot of what I was doing, I just had to scrape up the money myself. Yeah. But we try to compare it to, is like, yo, how come a musician can literally be homeless one day, walk into a studio the next day, spit some bars, sing a song, play an instrument, and leave with check and the money, a budget to keep their dream alive. Photographers don't have that. I can't go to an office right now and say, look at the photo I took of Gucci, look at the photo I took of Thug. Yeah. Give me $1 million deal. And then I want to shoot these other 5 people and give me a check for that too. It's like, it doesn't really exist, but we feel like it should. We feel like we're just as influential, if not more in some regards. Our content can be monetized and made money off just like an artist's song. You can take a photograph I take and put it on T-shirts, put it on posters, put it on billboards, wrap cars with it. It's so much stuff you can do with a photograph. Yeah. So it's all the same. So we're just kind of like banging on the door for major labels to kind of see, like, wake up. Like, I'll be the first. I'll step out there, but I expect you guys to follow suit and really allow this photography community the resources that y'all give to other artists. Yeah. And look at us all as one artist.
Yeah. And what do you look for when you're about to sign a photographer?
So that question gets asked a lot, like what I'm looking for when I'm about to sign a photographer.
And so I'm sure you're getting plenty of applicants.
Oh yeah, it's
ridiculous.
It's been insane, and we're gonna get back to everybody, and we're gonna. This is a real thing. Like, it's not fake or anything. But what I look for is a vision more than anything. I think a skill set can be taught, but I don't think you can teach an eye or a vision for yourself. So I'm not looking to have puppets that I have to move their every move. I'm looking for people that can be self-sufficient at times, can take guidance or take a conversation with me and turn it into more. And then when they're ready for more, so we're not looking to hold hands. We're looking for, partners, in this mission, which is why our label is structured like that. So on a financial side, we are structured more like an agency, whereas we're not taking ridiculous cuts of your money or, we're taking industry standard agency cuts, like 15 to 20% or less, depending on the agreement. And then also, we're not in it to own own any of their rights or their photos. Like you own
Okay.
everything. So
Yeah.
we're looking for partners. We're not looking for puppets that we can just master. So we want people that have a vision. I believe the skill set can be taught, but the eye can't. So you got to have an eye, have a vision. You got to be really dedicated to this. Like I've sacrificed so much of my life to be here on this stoop, on this step. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, I'm looking for people that have that same drive and that same energy to go get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is this open to videographers too, or is it just photographers for now?
For now, our focus is with photographers.
Okay.
Although those worlds do go hand in hand, so
Yeah.
there's an easy possibility that we could sign somebody that does both. Because I think the vision is very similar.
Yeah.
But in the long-term goal is for this to be the new label.
Okay.
And not looked at as a photography label over here and a music label over here, but like label. They got photographers, graphic designers, artists. Like it's like everything. Journalists could fall into there. Like they got everything in this pot. You know, Rock Nation is doing it the closest that I can imagine.
Okay. Yeah.
They just ain't stepped to photography yet, so they left a little wiggle room for me to creep in there first before they do it. But their model is like it's futuristic. It's what it's about. It's about if you're influential, you can be monetized. You know, it's very, very simple.
Yeah. We wish you the best of luck on that journey for that.
Thank you.
You have partnered with several brands throughout the years, including Nike, Puma, Jamesosn, and a bunch of others. How did these opportunities come about? Were they reaching out to you?
Yeah. Ironically, and I've always believed this, like when you're successful, things kind of, if you're head down and you're working hard, things will kind of follow you on your journey or add to what you got going on. So I don't chase anything. Like I don't even have an agent for myself that sources me out to get work. Like I'm just here and these things come. So a lot of these opportunities are just kind of examples or results of the hard work I've been putting in, the influence I've been able to maintain or attain with my work. And a lot of it is also my integrity, you know, the authenticity that I bring to the game and I bring to my craft. A lot of these brands want to align with it because it's real. So I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for more of the impact, the cultural impact, social impact. So I think it just kind of fits the mantra that a lot of brands are looking for. Yeah. And I'm very strategic about what brands I align myself with as well. It has to be a mutual thing. Like, so I've been blessed that, you know, it's been some of the biggest brands in the world have wanted to put their name next to mine. And, you know, we're hoping it keeps going. And then now with the gallery, with Collective Gallery, we're hoping that they see more opportunity in other artists that we have on our roster as well.
Yeah. You mentioned never having an agent. Did you ever have a manager?
I've had help. I would say I've had help along the way. Okay. I'd say about the first 3 to 4 years, I was dolo with it. Yeah. And I added my boy John Rose onto the team. John Rose and Ariel Brooks, they both served as management to a degree. Like they helped manage a lot of my business. They were great support to like bounce ideas off or send out an email, respond to this. They played that buffer role for me as we kind of grew our relationship together. And then now they're actually partners with me on the label now.
So, nice. Okay.
So definitely formulated a team around me, but I never really had anyone else drive my boat. So everything, you know, the world has seen is direct result of like my vision or where I want to go. Yeah. But I've definitely had help along the way, you know, helping me get to the next level. Can't do it by yourself.
Yeah. And at what point in your career did you look for that extra help? Because you mentioned the first 3-4 years, you kind of did it yourself. Yeah. Do you wish you would have looked for help earlier?
Definitely. I think I wish I was more open-minded to collaboration earlier. Okay. That's something that comes with maturity, though. Yeah. At the beginning, you don't want no one knowing your weaknesses or knowing this. You want to kind of keep that wall up, and you don't want other photographers around you because you're scared that it's just you're scared they might take your shot. I don't know. So you move weird, which is very like immature in thinking because being in a room and amongst others and having a team takes your stock to a whole other level. Yeah. But it was around like 2015. I had got off the Travis Scott rodeo tour,
Okay.
and I was just like, it's time to put the battery in my own back and to not be of service to others anymore, but actually focus on my vision and my goal. And that's when I started to formulate my team.
I got you. You know, you got the label, you got your studio, you got employees. How do you balance everything?
And that's the hard part. But I'm a workaholic, so yes, I always say there's more than enough time in a day. It's a matter of what you prioritize and what you keep first. And then I say I have to continue to give credit to my team. So I have a really strong team behind me that, as much as it is my job and my responsibility to make sure that they getting everything out of this opportunity, but they also make sure that they put in they work and they handle a lot of the workload that would have been on my shoulders if I didn't have them. So having a team definitely makes the process easier, especially having ones that you can depend on. Like, while I'm right here with you guys right now, I got an office full of employees banging out work. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I saw you receive plaques for Drip Harder and Drip Too Hard. Were those the first 2 plaques you've received?
Those weren't the first 2 plaques I received.
Okay.
But those were probably some of my favorite ones, just because of the relationship I was able to form specifically with Gunna, like from day one. And he's like, to me, he's like the first major artist, I would kind of say, that's a descendant of Cam Kirk Studios. So I think that made that special. Like, the first time I met Gunna was in the studio. He was doing a shoot, like with a regular, you know what I mean? So to watch him, he's been at the studio probably more than any artist. He's probably been there about 4 or 5 times. And all those times are not with me. Like 3 or 4 were like someone else is shooting him. I walk in the studio and it's Gunna down there. Like, oh, what's up, bro? So I love to watch his career go from local to massive fame. So that's why that plaque meant so much to me in my studio, because it was like, we witnessed this. Like from the first couple months of us being open, he was in here shooting. You know what I mean? Like, that was dope. So we've documented even on our story, on our page, like you can see like, when Gunna first came, the second time he was here, first time me and him started working together. And through his rise to the top, we've been able to find ways to continue to work together. So I think that that's really special, and it reminds me of like my time working with like Metros and Scooters and Thug early, where it's like we keep finding each other or meeting each other as we go up. So like whether it's been like I did a commercial for Adidas and Hypebeast, and I was able to like get him in the commercial with me. That was really dope. Or then I directed a video for Bleacher Report with Vince Carter and Cassius Stanley, and I was able to loop him in and have Drip or Drown as the soundtrack underneath, as the score of the whole video. And like just cool ways. I did something with Saks Fifth Avenue and G-Star, and I was able to shoot him for it. And then for like a month, his photo was at the entrance of Saks Fifth Avenue. It's like just like cool ways we've been able to continue to work that all led up to, the Drip Too Hard and the Drip Harder, album kind of shoot. So it's been a fun ride. He even did his Elliott Wilson interview at the studio. Like, it's like, so it's like he's been in that studio so much. And I think that's just like the coolest part about that plaque.
Yeah, it's definitely part of his story,
Yeah, it's so dope.
Yeah, and going back to, like you said, you being a workaholic, can you talk about some of the sacrifices you had to make to make it here where you're at today in your career?
Anything that doesn't relate to the music, relate to my career, I sacrifice for the most part. Time with family, time to myself, vacations. I think I've only in 7, 8 years of this game, I've taken 1 vacation.
Oh shit.
And I would even say that vacation wasn't all the way a vacation, but one time I've ever taken time to myself like that. So it's a lot of that, relationships, family. I got a little sister, 13. Probably don't see her enough. Got a niece that's 3 or 4. I don't see her enough. Brother, sister, father, mom, dad. Like, you know, a lot of that stuff I wouldn't say sacrifice, because that sounds like I'm in Illuminati or something, but like I sacrificed the time I was able to spend with them and still can spend with them. So hopefully this work doesn't go in vain. And I was actually just telling somebody this today. I just feel like people have different purposes in life, and I kind of feel like my purpose is bigger than some personal things that I might enjoy. Like, I can't stop because there are people that depend on me. I can't stop because there are kids that are at Morehouse because I went to Morehouse. Like, you know, like they're watching the journey. There are kids that are moving to Atlanta. There's kids that are in the camera store right now buying a camera because of something they saw me do. Yeah. So for me, it's like I don't take that lightly or for granted. So that's why I work so hard, because it's like there's still so much further I want to get to, and it's still so much further I think the photography industry, specifically in like documenting culture, urban culture, can go to. Yeah. So with every step up the ladder I go, I'm bringing the whole community with me. Yeah. So if I stop at this level, they'll never even get to know that they can have their own label. They can have a studio. They can, you know, like have these other things that they get plaques. They can do all these things. They won't know it if you know, until they see it. So that's what I work hard for, and that's what keeps me inspired. Just like the idea that now it ain't weird for an artist to have a platinum plaque. You know what I'm saying? It ain't weird for an photographer to have their own label. Like hopefully, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't weird to have your own studio. You hear about rappers having their own studio. Well, I got my own studio. Like, it's like all these things are strategic plays to like continue to inspire, you know, the photography community to think, you know, limitless without boundaries. Yeah.
That's real. What's your favorite camera to shoot with today?
Man, I don't get paid enough to say this. You know, to stamp them, because ain't none of these camera companies gave me anything. But
so that's one endorsement you're missing then, huh?
I say, yeah, but if you're listening, I do shoot with a Canon 5D Mark IV.
Okay.
So I was brought up on Canon cameras, so it's my favorite.
How many cameras do you own right now?
I've given away a few cameras, so I probably own 4 or 5 maybe. Okay. But I really my go-to is Canon.
The Canon, yeah.
When I'm playing around, I'll shoot film, and I have a little film camera that I'll pull out. But I mainly, like, I don't have a crazy equipment list. Like, I have camera and 2 lenses. Like, that's it. Yeah. And that's what I get busy with, so.
Yeah. What's the biggest mistake photographers make?
The biggest mistake photographers make is not planning for a future and not thinking, you know, past this one job or this one gig or this one relationship, but thinking about life when you're 40 and you're the old head. You can't be running around a 19-year-old rapper at 40. So you're gonna have to figure out a game plan of what you're gonna do. So longevity, thinking bigger and thinking in terms of longevity, understanding that this game's a marathon, not a sprint. So by you fussing with an artist over a couple $100, it's not worth it in the long run, potentially risking that relationship. Little things like that I run into all the time. Like, people just got the game messed up.
Yeah, I got you. What else you working on right now?
That ain't enough that I'm working on. I need to work on more than that.
Just saw you shoot 2 chains on top of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, that was sick. I feel like because Atlanta, you know, we're definitely thankful for you guys' platform, because outside of y'all, I always be thinking, like, how are people getting exposure out the city? Because we just don't have media outlets. Like, it's not enough people telling our story and telling it correctly and even well versed in exactly everything that we do and got going on. Like, so I feel like there's a lot of things that I've worked on that have been slept on. Like, you know, just because it's like it didn't get the New York style coverage. So something like that. Like, bro, I shot 2 chains on the rooftop of Mercedes-Benz Stadium for Atlanta United,
for the championship
soccer team in the world, with the trophies. Like, it's like, I feel like if I was in New York, that would have been like a talked about on Hot 97 or something. I don't know. I just feel like it would have been like, oh my God. But it's like certain things here, you would do it and it'd just be like, oh, okay. Okay, you did that or whatever. So that was fun. My relationship with Atlanta United is really tight. I'm actually going to the game today. I know I just timestamped your video, but
it's all right. They won't know which game it is.
For the second playoff game. I'm taking a couple friends with me. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna watch us get the championship again.
Yeah.
So I'm quoting it on camera. So y'all know, go back and say he said it. So I'll be there today. So I actually directed their first 2 videos when the team launched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that either. Like when they first unveiled their uniforms, I directed those videos. So that was a lot of fun. So I've been working with them from inception of the brand, of the team. Been working with not only that team, but Major League Soccer, period, with helping them bridge the gap between hip hop and soccer.
That's huge. That's huge.
So it's a number
That's
of things.
Big.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's fun. I'm a soccer fan. I grew up playing soccer, so it's interesting to see where this game has taken me back to like early roots. But so that partnership is super exciting, and we have some things actually in the plans to take it to another level. For the city of Atlanta through like my studio and United. So should be exciting.
Yeah, nice. All right. Anything else you want to add, Cam?
Yeah, definitely. If you're in Atlanta, if you're ever visiting, stop by, the best studio in the world, Cam Kirk Studios. Check us out, located across the street from Magic City. So when you're in there getting your wings or doing whatever it is you're doing over there, just come on over here after the show.
And you got the original Magic City sign in there now.
I do.
How'd you pull that off?
Man, right place, the right time.
Yeah. Did you pull it out the dumpster or something?
They were throwing it away.
Were they really?
And my creative director, Maddie, she, we watch Magic from our bird's eye view all the time. We was like, they're changing the sign. Crazy. I wonder what they're going to do with the old one. And we just watching the guys just load it up on a truck. Like, they just like throw it away. And she went down there and just was like, hey, what are y'all doing with this? And they were like, trash. And then she convinced them to let us have it. And they were like, we don't care. It was broke. So we had to do some
refurbishing.
Yeah, refurbishing to it. But I'm like, man, that's legendary. That's historic. Like,
that's an iconic piece of Atlanta culture.
Yeah, how y'all gonna let that go? And I was really excited that Magic was very receptive to us doing that. Like I was nervous a little bit, like, man, they might be like, man, give us that back. Once they see it.
After you fix it.
Yeah, but I was happy. They love it. They come up there, they shoot content in front of themselves.
Nice.
So, like, it's actually strengthened our relationship.
Oh, sweet.
For me, it's all out of like admiration and love for the iconic brand that they built. Like, they're one of the most iconic and inspiring staples the city has, regardless of if you're into that type of nightlife or not. Like, what they've done with that brand is crazy. So for me, it was all in like love and admiration for what they've done and paying homage to being neighbors,
Yeah.